Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And here we go. Welcome everyone to the Wordplay Cafe. I am your host. Don't worry about that. I am your host, the nice one. I'm about to be joined by our co-host for the show for the evening, the lovely Miss Tasia. Say hey to the fine people.
Hey, fine people.
And we're about to start off another evening of the Wordplay Cafe.
Yes.
You know something I realized that we hadn't been doing?
The rules.
We don't lay down any rules. We just let it ride. We just do whatever because we're just glad to be back in the venue again. But I came to realize too, some of the rules we've been doing might not apply anymore. Since we do broadcast live, and everything goes where everything goes online. Language restrictions, fair warning. We try to do PG-13, sometimes it doesn't fly, and that's okay. But you've been warned. You can handle the rest of the show. That's so well.
No, I don't. You
Sure you
usually whatever. Okay, anyway. We have what, maybe 2 rules now, is that?
1.5.
One-ish?
1.5.
Well, really, one real rule. Well, we don't like to say rule.
Guideline?
Yeah, one real guideline is to respect the mic. Basically, all that means is when someone is up here, whether they're doing a piece, they're singing, they're reading something, whoever is on the mic, we ask that you give them the respect that you would like. Try to keep the conversations kind of low, so that everyone who is here who would like to hear them can hear them. That's pretty much it now, isn't it?
That's about it.
Yeah. Also, this is not. My mind just went kind of blank. But anyway, we like to be interactive. If someone up here says something that really, what's the word?
This is a
Moves you.
Thank you, Tbones. That really moves you. That's the word, resonate. That resonates with you. I know, but still, I like big words. That resonates with you. If you want to hear it again, what's the word?
Rewind.
Rewind. If you want to hear it again, you just want to let the artist know that you really like it. Clap your hands, stomp your feet, shake your keys. If you have a little shaker, shake that. Shout. Just let them know that what they've just said or what they've just done, you really, really like that. You really enjoyed it.
If you're watching at home online, hit the space bar. We'll let you know.
If you're watching at home online and you have logged into YouTube, you can leave comments, and we can read them later.
Now, how do you
read them later.
How do you get to the live feed?
How do you get to the live feed? Well, to get to the live feed, go to YouTube and look for Tbones Hot Spot.
Click on the live feed.
Okay, and click on the live feed, and there we will be.
It's on YouTube.
Along with our friends.
Links will be generated throughout the show, also posted on the Wordplay Cafe page on Facebook. So, Candace.
We good?
We're good.
So you open up the first piece?
Because the last word I heard was that this was a place for spoken word. A verbal visual gallery of lyrical works, each line designed to make your brain squirt. All said, some of them written, all spit into a mic check, 1, 2, shifting your points of perspective and adapting your point of view. But as for me, I'm here to see that the job gets done. There's no fantasies and yellow brick roads and no time for force to run, because in my mind, each line should beat like a drum line from your heart to your mind, motivate your mouth to give shout outs and
rewind.
In my mind, each line should beat like a drum line from your heart to your mind, motivate your mouth to give shout outs and rewinds, but at the very least, Each piece should brushstroke the canvas, leaving you high as a kite as if your hookah was laced with cannabis, transforming this place into a space where lovers of this art can demand this, and anything less than blessed that might touch the mics just might leave the crowds pissed. And those are our last words. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wordplay Cafe. Here at Tbones Hot Spot in beautiful sunny / rainy / Hinesville, Sarasota. We decided to do a little something different. And, you know, most of what I like to put down usually comes off the top of my head, not just freestyle, but memorized. I tend to get away from this book as we go. So we have been writing some new pieces. We decided to bring some new stuff to the mic. Some of us are being challenged to bring new stuff to the mic, regardless. Here's a couple. One of which I just finished putting pen to paper on before I came up here, so bear with me. And I'm only bringing two this evening. We are joined this evening by Dr. Mark Lynch. I always call you Dr. Steele with it. Dr. Mark Lynch is also going to be sharing some work with us, as well as Desiree. First new piece, which at this point is untitled. I don't understand why you should fear me. I am that indigo drop in your milk white world, that charcoal soul encased in ebony skin that absolutely refuses to give in. I am that unbleachable, stainful memory so painful, recalling your past and vividly claiming your future like the gospel of Joseph himself. And my history was more than a mystery to me, but the voices of my past echo forward, and I get what you can only pray that I forget before I dare to share with those searching through seasons to justify the reasons that we choose to stand still like barnyard horses on fire. Always choking on the bitterest of pills with infinite servants of Jim Crow pie, as if we're created for just 3 reasons: to suffer, repopulate, and die. Force-fed until we're filled, and then those who didn't wash out get washed down with more worn-out and watered-down bullshit, courtesy of this new age greedy media. Yet the flood of my blood comes quick to those close to these words, and we crash against the machine with the occasional pro-adjectives and the constant pro-verbs. And the last thing that you'll remember will be the first thing that you heard, because I understand why you should fear me. I got a funny feeling I'm probably going to add some more to that. Thank you. I hate when you have that it's not quite done kind of thing going on. Yeah, I don't know, it's trying to feel like it's not quite done. Desiree?
Yes, Michael? I'm sorry, yes, the last one?
Did she call me by my government name?
Yes, it was a slip. You know, yeah.
All right. Gotta love her, she's cute. It's your turn.
It's my turn. Okay. I don't think I'm going to do that piece that I did, that I read for you earlier.
You'll do it later?
I'll do it later.
I'll do it later.
I'll do it later.
She's got something funky for y'all later.
I'll do it later. Okay, so as my partner in rhyme mentioned, we have new pieces for you. He told me this today, that the Tuesdays that I'm here, hey, how about the Tuesday when you're there, that we do new pieces. Oh, okay. Today. So I've been working on this. I've had an interesting week. So I just finished this while we were sitting here. It doesn't have a title. And I'm probably not done with it, but for right now I am. I will never leave thee nor forsake thee. That's what he said. But I find myself trying to hide from him when I should be running toward him saying, here I am! Drowning myself in what feels right. Gorging on emptiness, expecting to be filled. It's past time I got off this merry-go-round. You see, I know better. I wasn't just taught these things. I searched for myself, but instead of sharing his love, I keep it to myself as I try to blend in, knowing I'm the tallest one in this place and all the slouting in the world won't get me unnoticed. Like Jonah, I foolishly try to run when I can't breathe without feeling the guilt of sitting down when I should be standing up, saying nothing while screaming on the inside. Knowingly breaking the rules that I so badly want to get right. Trying to have a real relationship with someone I cannot see, I cannot touch, and most times I cannot hear. Struggling to be obedient to a father I've only just begun to understand, only just begun to trust, only just begun to believe is not just like my father. So I'm straddling the fence, knowing better, not doing better. And as I go through this wilderness experience, I'm praying I come out stronger, because right now I am so weak. Thank you. I know. That's what I like about him. One of the many things I like about Dr. Lynch, as you say. Mark is such a favorite and a frequent participant of Wordplay Cafe. And on that note, if we can give a hearty Wordplay Cafe welcome to Mark Lynch.
And the link has been posted on Facebook, just so you know. Did I take the cordless?
Please let me know how much you love me so. You're so cool, the way you do things do. Nigga help me, nigga help me. Oh, hey, always uplift me. I love you.
This is a true story. Happened to me a long time ago, but it's true, and I just want to share it. It's called music. From the corner in the dark, I watch your body move to the beat, as it embraces the soul of the beat. Got you feeling the groove, something you can't control. Listening to the sounds makes you want to dance all night. Vibration got you bound with its sweet harmonic delight and its splendid symphonies. Poetry eases your troubled mind. Marvelous melodies got you saying, I love music. Yes, I love music. Don't matter what kind, because it eases my troubled mind. Speak. Speak words to me and say what you mean. Words that can be heard a mile away. Speak. Not empty, but full and complete. Not hashtags, tweets, checks. Let me say that again. Not hashtags, tweets, or checks.
Yes.
Speak to all of me. Speak the vernacular of the heart and the mind. Speak to me in love's language. Speak to my heart. Speak to my mind. And let our love converse as we discover each other's worth. This is called Back in the Day. I want you to go with me on a journey. You know, back, remember when? Gotta be in before the street lights come on? As I sit and gaze into the heavens, bathing in God's spotlight. That's the sun, y'all. My pores are exuding childhood memories. I reminisce of the good old days, barefooted and carefree, little child running wild. Summer breeze caressing my cheek, double dutch, hopscotch. Red light, green light, you hide, I'll see. I bet I can climb the highest in that tree. Lightning bugs and mosquito bites, and mother, may I, those were the good old days. Remember how we could get excited just to hear the ice cream man? Push-ups, screwballs, nutty buddies, Mickey Mouse. We better beat the streetlights in. I'm not getting mine behind feet tonight. Those were the good old days. Remember how we used to watch Back Albert on Saturday mornings, and how we couldn't wait to see the Roadrunner and the Coyote kick up dust? And someone would yell, "Stop that trumpet on the bed before you break something up there." We know Mom and Dad. They be watching Good Times. Those were the good old days. Remember when Happy Meals really made us happy? Now that I think about it, pretty much everything made us smile back then, back in the day.
All right. There. Back in the day. Yeah, that was a trip I could make too. Oh, folks down. And y'all, you know how we do now. We just had a poet come up and come down. Let's give him a hand for doing this. I only have one other new piece to present that I consider to be relatively complete, but I'm not going to do it right now. I'll save that for the next half of the show. So, I'll do it for you, all right?
15 minutes. 15 minutes.
Really? I do my best.
I gotta work in the morning. My money over there is just not gonna cooperate.
All right.
I'll fix that. Thank you.
Maybe this is something both of us wanted, but neither of us was ready to handle. Now I love you too much to keep hating myself for all the bullshit I allowed you to put me through. Said I love you too much to keep hating myself for all the bullshit I allowed you to put me through.
Stop doing
That I just begun to remember my dreams again. Those full nights stolen away by overfilled days, and in more ways than I could maneuver, my workload seemed to implode and impede on the sleep that I need to carry these dreams from can't see to can't see. But these had managed to stay the course. And from course to find, the memory in my mind began to grow clearer, as what began as a reflection of myself in my own mental mirror slowly transformed into her female form, because she embodied the love for me that I saw in myself. And I give her my heart as if I'd never given it to anyone else. And that's the balance that's created when true love is meant its equal. You see, it can't be forewarned of in some prequel or followed after with some sorry-ass sequel like all those headless porcelain Hitler's Highlander movies would boast there could be only one. And we too have become that one. So how can one be too much? How unnerving the kiss, and how abrasive that touch. But when love is at risk, we oftentimes miss the most obvious of signs on purpose. And while a life without love may seem worthless, the only route to the real root of the truth must lie beneath the surface. So you've got to dig deeper. Dig deeper than the 13 years of love, sweat, and tears that began with an I do and ended in multiple fuck yous at the drop of a hat. Dig deeper than that cross-country love affair that only worked because she wasn't there to see your ass playing the theater like you was all that. Dig deeper than those nights that you spent with her waiting for the birth of another man's child that you both knew wasn't yours, but you still loved her without any slack. Dig deeper than her screaming your name at 3:13 a.m. across the parking lot as you walked out of her life and never once looked back. Dig deeper than that first who let you burst in her mouth because you like that little thing that she did with her tongue, and then she spit it all out on you and called you gross and scarred you for life. Dig deeper. Because I still love you too much to keep hating myself for all the bullshit that I allowed you to put me through. And now my physical form stands here, neither lost nor forlorn at the long list of love's campaigns. And while whitewashed in the bright light of love, the dark shadows of this pain still remains. And now I see these dreams again, like hot water rapids and ice cold streams flowing through me like mad whipped horse teams, pulling you out of my heart when you were truly, madly, deeply loved. Welcome back, welcome back.
You got my name right.
Oh, yes, of course. I didn't get one good chance to screw it up. So I did that. We are kind of going through new stuff and old stuff. Fine mix of the two. So, welcome back. David,
Yes.
how do you feel?
I feel wonderful.
Feel what?
Wonderful.
I feel fabuloso.
Fabulous. You know, that's clean with like.
Yeah, I like it.
We're all just like
Singer.
Are you calling me out there?
But let's see if we can find one there. If not, I'll pull out
No, I'm
a
fine.
bunch of others.
Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome back up to the mic, Daisy.
Hazelnut. And caramel.
Okay, I was gonna wait until later to do this. However, someone has to leave a little early, so I decided I will do this for her.
Does that? Maybe I have another one. Maybe there's another one.
So, this is not an easy piece for me to actually perform.
Go ahead, Mark.
Because this is not how I talk all the time.
Get out, sing.
I'm from the Virgin Islands, born in the island of St. Thomas, so when I'm talking to my family, I don't sound like this at all. However, this piece that I wrote it the way we talk back home. So I have to pretend you guys are not here.
Welcome to the VI.
Okay.
So I can get this done. It's entitled, You Think You're Better. However, how we would say it is, you think you're better.
Yeah.
You're right, you're right.
You think you're better than me? How you figure? Because I talk like this, and you speak like this. You think you're better than me? How you figure? Because I ain't finished school and you in college. We come from the same place, you know. My people were slaves just like yours. Oh, you don't think so? So where do you think you come from? The white man tear through your home just like he tear through mine. He take your people just like he take mine. And who you think put that ashlessness in your head? Light skin better than dark skin. Good hair and bad hair. The sun's skin is skin and hair is hair. And when you're done, you got enough to get upset when the white people look down on you? But then you turn around and look down your nose at me. Just confuse you know. God will help you. You will. And when you're done, you got enough to get upset when people look down on you. But then you turn around and look down your nose at me. Just confuse you know. God will help you. I is a woman just like you. A black just like you. I feel the same pain you feel. And believe it or not, I fight in the same fight you fight in. I struggling to raise my man and my children just like you. Self-esteem, self-doubt. I know you got the same issues. And every day they walk you like a dog and pay you no better than a 16-year-old who walk at McDonald's. You need to stop looking at what on the outside and start looking at what on the inside. You know the words to the dream? That black children and white children sit down together? Well, let's add something. That black people at every complexion will stop looking at each other's skin and hair and start looking at each other. Then you wouldn't look down on me. Thank you. That was not easy. That was just you. As soon as I did it. This one also works in April for National Poetry Month. None of them are titled, they're all untitled. This one was written on April 24th, even though it was day 20.
Oh, the struggle is real.
Oh, something else. The softness of your kisses is only outdone by your caress. Drifting into dreamless sleep, safely wrapped in your arms, I fall asleep with a smile on my face. If this is a dream, just my fantasy, don't tell me. Let me lie to myself, believing this is my forever, even if it isn't. Let me bask in your pseudo-love. Let me cherish the moments spent lying on your chest, listening to our heartbeat, temporary synchronicity. Let this be my almost forever story, my holding hands, my kiss me slow, my curled up on the couch for now, until my forever. Thank you. Okay, so I know we have a poet that just walked in. There's nothing written on the sign-up sheet, and I don't think I know your name. Alex, okay. Oh, yes, you were here last week. I saw you when, I'm not going to say where I was when I saw you, but I saw you online. So, next up on the mic, if she's ready. All righty. Let's welcome Alex.
It's your birthday.
Okay. So you guys don't have to bear with me a little because I don't have my glasses.
We're good.
I've been trying to write something new to read here every week. And nothing ever comes out well enough to read out loud. This morning I was like, I don't know anything to write. I woke up at 8 o'clock. And I usually don't get up at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
I was going to go back to sleep, but this poem happened, so I had to write it down.
Yep, that's how it usually happens.
Okay. I have a sister, about this tall, who's all energy and crooked teeth. I have a brother, who's about this tall, who's all questions and full of numbers. I have a brother, just this tall, who's obsessed with cars and lives 7 states away. I have a hole. A gaping hole right here. Because I've lost so much. A pop-up, a father, a stepdad, another stepdad, 2 grandpas, a mom, and a brother. You see, I'm a motel with no shining and bright green letters on its vacancy sign because people keep deciding to check in and out of my life. Last year, I adopted a philosophy, if you will. And it's that we, at the moment we are born, are utterly whole. We have each of our numbered pieces intact. And from the moment we form a bond with our mothers and fathers, if we're lucky, we create a whole. We spend our lives giving away pieces of ourselves, and we never get them back. People we love take a chip from your heart, sometimes bigger and sometimes smaller. And your heart only has so many chips. And depending on the person, each one's size is a little different. And when they leave, which from my experience, many do, they leave that gaping hole in your chest just a little bit bigger. And you spend your time bandaging the remains for the next time, and you pray to whatever God you believe in to help you alleviate some of the pain. And some people find their own ways to relieve the pain, however temporary. Drugs, booze, sex, and money. I can't tell you how many pieces of people I've given my pieces to have wasted theirs on them. From just another pill, or just another can, just another injection, one more, so they've given all their pieces to something that can never love them back. That's when it happens. You run out of pieces, and you're just empty, broken. So life cuts you a break from all the hurt and finally lets you rest. Now, it happens at different times because everyone has different amounts of pieces. Whether it takes 26 years or 83 years, you run out of pieces. We all have our numbers. We all run out.
Let's do it one more time for Alex. I want to do this for one because she vacates the premises since she is gainfully employed. This is something else that managed its way out of the new box. Part of me still feels like it's incomplete, but here we go. Most things in life drill down to matters of timing. And so those 200 yards at 60 miles an hour managed to change that green light to red. Nothing was that had been said, and here I am sitting at this intersection. And he sees me as I see him, and he starts to walk my way. Instinctively, my eyes eased closed, and if doing so would make him go away. And as much as I would have wanted to bless him with whatever I could make, whatever I could spare, I knew that there was nothing that I could do. And she refused to let me go. Holding on to more than I could see, seeing us at some future point that won't be, and I tried to manifest this change. Digging through scraps, knowing that there's got to be something. There always is. There always was. There was always something there that I could spare. Something loosely defined as love. So there we were at this intersection. And she was walking my way. And as we kissed, my eyes instinctively eased closed, as if doing so would make it go away. Because as much as I wanted to give her all the love that she deserved, I knew that there was nothing there. if nothing had been different. And so I opened my eyes as he drew closer, and I had a chance to really glance at his sign, and it read, "Keep your change. All I want is your strength." And I heard her saying the same thing as she walked. Every once in a while, I like to draw these analogies, and that just kind of seems like one of them things there.
You're saying that as a business. Home is never done, only do.
I like that. Letting you know. I like that. I was once told that the average human heart weighs about 21 grams. But I think that some hearts are just heavier than others. A mass of muscle and connective tissues apparently best suited for forgetting and then reconnecting my issues, anatomically rooted in recirculating my oxygen and blood, yet connected in mankind's mind as a mind for our love. But there's got to be more. Blessed with 4 functioning chambers with a seemingly infinite capacity for my love, pain, hurt, and my anger, these 21 grams can hold a ton of crap. And it won't skip a beat, regardless of whatever life may come with. But ironically, when you were hip deep in love, it seemed like you'd given so much that you just couldn't care anymore. Now that the love is over, it seems like you just couldn't care anymore. So if love was supposed to last a lifetime, how come it's not there anymore? Unless our lives are measured by our love, and there's no heartbeat anymore. Just that flat-line reminder. And it's hopeless to hold out hope for a heart so filled with holes, since the fine grains of love freely flow while the pain tends to remain in boulder-sized shoulders that serve just one purpose: masking what lurks beneath the surface and inviting the next X to join in on the emotional masquerade. Because honestly, it should be called hate making. Because real love just can't be made. It's a gift. Something so precious, yet only available to be shared and exchanged, like the key setting us free from the heavyweight hate in its chains. And somewhere among the heartbreak and pain, at least the concept of loving you forever still remains, contained in this place, reserved for her and for her alone. I'm gonna take a break. We'll make us a nice segue point and let Wanda exit the building. As she tries to sneak out of the building. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a nice Wordplay Cafe round of applause for Wanda. Hey, Wanda. Sorry you gotta go. So much for easing out. Yeah. Let's go ahead and take a little break here, and then we'll come back in and do our thing, grab a little sip. As we continue the show here at the Wordplay Cafe at Tbones Hot Spot at 2667 Ball Drive, sunny Sarasota.
You know, I really like the last time into the background about, yes.
See you next time.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
You too.
Yeah. I'm exposed now.
So never let me hear.
Yeah.
That's all I heard from you. You're working in the
All right, we got it.
You doing funk festival?
Huh?
You doing funk tomorrow night?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll talk to you.
Okay, yeah, it'll be fun. Jade's gonna sing with him tomorrow. My daughter Jade.
Thanks for coming out. Yeah. You got some good stuff.
Is that regular coffee?
Yeah. Like bit behind you. So it's regular on it. The other one is flavored like a cookie. Yeah? Very good.
You know, Alex, in your defense, most cameras do have a maximum amount of views.
So I asked, you know, just in case, I want to make sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I looked at the thing, and I got the shot. All stretched out with one I know.
I used to make it.
Yeah.
Not sure like
That's different categories.
maybe another thing that's on the menu.
A couple stores.
I'm sad. I'm really sad. Of course, the beach is so beautiful. No, it's good.
We're not about to get to the face, right?
Which face?
Burger, though.
Let's see how you can do it.
Brother, my sore tummy.
I'm good, Mike. How are you?
I think I got a bad oyster.
Oh, no.
It wasn't an oyster, but something this weekend. It was all we had 3 parties here. A lot of food, a lot of buffet. You know, I usually refrain from eating from buffets, but something's not sitting well at all. And it's been 3 days now, so unfortunately I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow. Not for this, but I am going. So. They've got some there. I've got a whole bunch. I got a tea company that's coming in to get my tea life organized for me. Well, the one that went to Paris.
And your Monte is the sweetest cafe.
You know what? There's this blackberry pomegranate.
Okay.
Same thing.
Make sure there's one in there. People have a tendency to put it back.
Doesn't feel like
Yeah.
The beauty of it is, let's say or major in that or you worry about this situation. You got but if you want to survive, you have to cheat it. But if you decide with you can buy
This thing.
Those things that for our standards.
So it's perfect. I'm taking different subjects. To say what is like, because it means a lot of things. But it's exploring all of these subjects. One of the pieces that I have was talk about things that are relevant. You know, just the other day, my wife, she was talking. She don't have it's not or Martin Luther King or no, but that's really common among kids because they have not been, they have never been in school. When I was coming up, we had literally, we shut the school down. Oh, I just, I think they were abbreviated thing. And the junior college that I went to, I'm sure, they had sit-ins. I was part of that. To have a Black history class, wanted to have the Black students included in this program. My kids, you ask them anything about Black history, they don't. Why? I taught it at home. After I used to I was very
it's all that brush. Let's put out some.
I go to the farmer. She wants a job here.
back in the day, you know, not them. So, when I was coming up, it got I looked at right now. After them, sad.
Oh, yeah.
My wife was at he didn't know any of these people, and we dared not ask him about all this. And that was you know, even though that's music, but
She heard the music and thought it was Christina Aguilera.
Really?
No, she had no idea.
And he started singing and she was like,
What song was that? Diamond in the Back? Or Sugar Fly?
No, definitely don't need it, but it was just, yeah, she was so that here.
I heard her say it and I thought to myself,
Are you serious?
it's like, I didn't say anything, but I was like, no.
You know, it's like alphabet awards. They really forgot to mention that one time here. Book Barrel? Book Barrel.
like the TV shows.
Showing that we have to take on anything. Where they come from, who they are. You know?
No, we're not even in
Okay, you know, they have, you know who their leaders are? No, the parents don't know. You know who their leaders are?
I was expecting to see my face.
Nicki Minaj.
Oh, please.
Some people, she is.
I'm gonna bring this thing back to life. It's about time to bring it back to life. And let me do this for you.
Oh, I know what it is. Good thing I'm not wearing any makeup tonight.
Is there music in
There is. This is one of the crowd favorites.
By special request, I can bring this thing
Alright.
back.
No, it's a good one. Tough one.
Hmm.
It's tough.
Is that your phone?
Yeah.
Makes you think.
I'm lost. I'm sorry. I'm techno.
Playing music behind the phone.
See,
Yeah.
He did it last time.
he is always the tech guy.
Yeah.
When we do stuff, I'm always nervous.
You know what they used to call me?
I'm always nervous when he's not gonna be there. It's like, okay, what has to be done? Show me.
Well, except for her.
We used
Must
to
be
call,
don't happen often.
we used to call those kids that were like that smart, that knew all the stuff. We used to call them nerds, but something. You
Oh, they
know,
still do.
they still do.
They
Oh,
still
nerds
do.
do.
They are. Oh my God.
Nerds gonna be
Nerds are
crazy.
taking over.
Nerds are in demand.
See, here's what happened.
Nerds are
During
geeks.
during high school, everybody was after the jocks.
Mhm.
Okay, well, the jocks got older. Hips gone out, aim's gone out, you know, and tech guys, what? That's all it takes.
Yeah.
So we're good. Still making money. Mm-hmm. We
And
good.
millions made.
Right.
And
And
Simple.
millions made.
You know, I made an app. There's an app for that. Made me rich.
Ah.
Like, pro ball player can't say it. I'm gonna
What are you doing? You gonna strip up there or what?
That's the music.
That was good.
I'm gonna go ahead and do foundations. Trying to think of what I could do afterwards. Maybe suggestions. Because we're never mind. We'll get there.
Well, my suggestion is to be happier. I like skyscrapers.
Okay. All right. Let's start with.
So you need to go from sad to almost sadder.
Yeah, we'll get that nasty taste out your mouth.
Like tissue.
I like skyscrapers.
All right.
Might as well.
I was raised in a house filled with love and some tension. No, not quite perfect, though nothing man-made ever really is. But it was just enough for the life that I lived for me to lay down foundations. And I grew as a man to understand that my every definition of a relationship began with trust and ended in some higher level of faith. And that anything less than that was less than a waste of my time and of my efforts and of my emotions. And not to mention The darkness that can form in those corners where seeds of light would need to fight in order to survive and bleed all night, but when light has to rise, we just do whatever needs to be done until the sun greets us again. And then we pick those bricks from the sticks and stones, letting our successes be the revenge on those who fail to break our bones. Let them be the ones who made us stronger than death, till it takes life itself to take away our very last breath. And we had agreed to work this land together, knowing that I would need her sensitivity and that she would need my strength. I gave her mine and she shared hers with me, captured within our hearts and exchanged ever so freely. But no one ever taught us how to work our way through weeds. Through a lifetime of scattered opportunities, we both planted erratic seeds. But sometimes, what grows in the past in the darkest parts of your heart starts to erode and oppress what your future truly needs. Because your parents can only show you how to love, but they argue amongst themselves behind their own closed doors, and that creates the void that eats you alive. And in 5, 4, 3, you two become separate ones. And just as what's lived can't be forgotten, sometimes what's said can't be undone, and those weeds continue to grow. The only thing's proven to do so in a vacuum, and it's the light and the love that's the first things consumed. Have you screaming across the sea of silence while you're side by side in the same bed, in the same room, but I was raised in a house that was filled with love and some tension. No, not quite perfect. No, nothing man-made ever really is. But it was just enough for the life I lived for me to lay down foundations. So maybe if I had seen more of the less than heavenly side of love that sometimes makes a grown man run, I would have learned that not everyone you give your heart to knows what the hell to do with it. Maybe I would have learned that love is a balance worth having in your life, and that the light of it is a valid reason to die inside because it's stronger than any truth and it's deeper than any lie. Maybe I would have learned that being the last man standing sometimes means you're the first one to witness everyone else's love. I was raised in a home that was filled with love and some tension. No, not quite perfect. No, nothing man-made ever really is. But it was just enough for the life that I lived for me to lay down foundations. For 7 days, I sat and watched the sunset in a weak attempt to temporarily forget what my heart wouldn't allow me to. And as my emotions conspired against me and my tears struggled to extinguish the fires burning within me, I realized then that nothing else mattered right then and right now. Because now the plural had become singular, and it's the aching vacancy of her departure that proves to me that to her, everything really was as important as my next breath. My right hand embraced her left. As her flesh pressed into mine, as our bodies intertwined until that last post-orgasmic sigh left her chest, and in my mind, I see steam as the sunset kisses the horizon and nightfall invites me to dream again. But dream of what? There's no brown eyes calling out to me, inviting soft lips and sweet tongue. Because for the first time in a lifetime, I'm totally undone. And I know that she knows that I know that she's hurting too, because there's a special kind of connection that we've always had, and we probably always will too. And so there's no sense in my self-defense of displaying some type of hyped-up bravado, because that part of me that she maintains is missing. And nothing and no one else can heal this. And just as sure as my worst enemy was that little dude from 3rd grade that used to jack me for my fruit cups, but I wouldn't even want him to feel this, because skyscrapers built on poor foundations can only do 2 things well. It's amaze and fascinate the lovers of architecture and make headlines when they crash all to hell. And amongst those twisted beams of love and struggle, mangled amidst the cementatious rubble, they neither prove nor defy the laws of love. They're the soon-rusting reminders that sometimes love wears blinders, and for those of us who need it the most, it just can't reach them. It's like that elevator car slowly climbing to the 123rd floor because we're racing to the rooftops without the keys to the security room doors. And even though we realize that our steps are impaired, we continue to press on and proceed with our needs until we bleed upstairs. And as the sum of all fears has a zero net worth, and we stare slack-jawed and awed at the curvature of Mother Earth. Then those brown eyes did call to me. And I answered those soft lips and that inviting sweet tongue. And as her left hand slipped away from my right, I realized then that my world would soon be undone, because skyscrapers built on poor foundations can only do two things well. That's amaze and fascinate the lovers of architecture and break hearts when they crash all to hell. And brown eyes did what brown eyes do. And brown eyes remain brown through tears, as gravity does what gravity always does. Reclaiming and repossessing those things that our hearts had the nerve to ever claim to love. See, the best laid plans and well-selected materials must be chosen with discerning eyes. For in the end, we're either the architects of our own successes or the architects of our own demise. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now, to get that depressing little taste out of our mouths. Dr. Lynch, would you like to join us?
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Dr. Lynch back to the mic. One more game, one more game. Do you need it? Okay. That's all I got.
I'd like to share with you a piece that talks about a scene that is unfortunately all too common in everybody's neighborhood. Pricks my heart, hurts my heart when I hear about it and what it does to us, because we lose a piece of ourselves when it happens. Because every time you see that, it affects us in some kind of way, and we lose a part of ourselves when it happens. This piece is from a bigger piece that I wrote from, say what, but it's directly taken from the news. Scene is so common, and we have to ask ourselves, what the hell is going on? I like to call this Adam. Check out Adam's life. Adam was a young man with promise, an immigrant searching for knowledge. Came to America for college, his college degree, earned and acknowledged. Celebrating his achievement with friends that day, his friends that spin couldn't see the knuckleheads approaching with knucklehead friends. With loathing, they intentionally bumped into Adam at the bar, starting trouble. Adam, he fought like a star. The cowards leave the premise, their goal to make a new nemesis. Adam exits the venue. The next day is graduation ceremony. Mom, she makes some homemade cookies. Had to get home to celebrate with everybody. Knuckleheads waiting outside. But this time they brought a friend. Cowards that they are, they run up to Adam. Shots are fired. Adam lights. His life ends. Back at home, family waited, but Adam never showed. He was sleeping on the concrete. Skin had grown cold. He could have been a father, a brother, an entrepreneur, or a contender. He could have been a good friend, a lover, a president, or a scholar. Now destroyed potential. Family and nations grieving at his wake. his nation needs leaders, and he's another candidate they couldn't take. All because of some coward who couldn't check his pride. They are not real men. That's why in groups they strive. Adam is gone, and we all cry. I scratch my head, and I ask myself, why? 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 This is the senselessness of violence and brutality that we see happening in our communities every day. It's something that affects all of us, whether we like it or not. We think, oh, it's not going to happen in my community, but yet it does. And we have to be aware of that. We have to do something to change that, to make people love people and not hate people because of the color of their skin or where they live or how they talk or what they look like. We have to begin to be real with each other. I don't want to preach to nobody. God knows I don't want to do that. Because then the brother can call me something else.
Amen.
You know, it's interesting that you called me doctor, because there is an interesting story behind that.
Sure.
There really is. They used to call me doctor many years ago. Not that I am, but I delivered all three of my sons. I cut the cord. I read up on it, 9 months for each one. I'm invested in them.
Right.
So they used to call me doctor. So you're not far. You didn't know that. You just called me that. I'll take that and I'll wear that.
All right.
Because that's what I used to call myself.
I think you've earned that.
My dad, God bless his soul, he was called doctor, but he was a pharmacy doctor. Me, I'm just somebody who just loved children. But anyhow, that's all I have to say.
All right.
That's all I can say. I hope that you enjoy this. And I want to shout out to my wife. She is my muse. I can do that. I want to shout out to my wife, Sharon. She's probably looking at this. If she's not, she's on the TV. She's sitting on the couch looking at the TV and probably watching. Oh, it's too late now. She's probably watching Family Feud, but that's the show of the year. Anyway, that's my story. That's my story. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Let's hear it again from Mark Lynch. Okay, so this piece is not happy, as most of the pieces are not. Sorry.
Sometimes sadness is the easiest thing to
It lets it out, and then you're not sad and depressed and
write. And
upset
it's
and
paper and sad.
wanting to hurt people all the time. Exactly.
If you go back to the tree being murdered and make them sad and depressed.
I try to think about that part. It's been quite some time since I've read this one. I actually forgot that I had it. And Device One and I, every now and then, we go to Starkeepers. It's a little restaurant back behind the Verizon building. It's the neatest little place. And on Monday nights, they have open mic. What is it, 6 to 9, I think? From 6 to 9. And I did this piece, and then a few weeks later, maybe a month later, we went back, and this lady came and said, oh my gosh, that piece that you did, I think about it every morning when I get up, and it gives me such encouragement. And I thought, that piece? Wow.
It's always made it easy to remember.
It is, and then does something for them. You're like, really? Oh my gosh. However, but this piece is entitled Strength. That which doesn't kill us makes us stronger. If my physical strength matched my emotional strength, I'd be able to literally move mountains. But this strength was hard won by heartaches and the pain of betrayal. From an overly sexual elementary school age child to a somewhat promiscuous teen, what she remembers of her childhood would hardly fill a thimble. But what little there is, they're hers. She doesn't think much of herself. Book sense, but no common sense. Not good for anything, as she shoved aside. These words were her lullabies throughout her life. No one was proud of her. She did nothing right, everything wrong. She looked in the mirror and saw ugly, stupid, worthless, useless, pretty from the neck down. So she gravitated toward the first cute boy who showed interest. She didn't believe him when he told her she was beautiful. She couldn't believe that, after so many years of seeing ugly. And when he leaves her, after loving her, after she foolishly allows herself to believe he could love her, that she could be loved. And she continued to believe the lie throughout her life. She foolishly falls. She foolishly believes the lies, you're beautiful, I love you, hoping that one day someone will mean it. And she grows up this way. She grows up believing she is ugly, useless, worthless, unlovable, an adolescent in a woman's body, capable of handling all aspects of her life in an adult level, raise children, hold down a job, manage money, checking and saving accounts, all aspects save one, the male of the species. She's still that ugly adolescent wanting the boys to like her, still that worthless, useless child wanting, needing to be loved, confusing hormonal responses for love, and getting hurt and betrayed, interim after interim, one boy, one man at a time. She always felt she was weak. Actually, she knew she was weak. Everyone took advantage of her, took her kindness for weakness. Then one day she looked back on her life, what little she remembers of her childhood, the good and the disturbing, the unforgiving teen years, the haunting adult years. She looked back and took stock of all that she's been through, and a light came on. Realization, a truth she'd never seen before, a truth she could never see before. There was strength in her pain, strength in her disappointments, strength in her betrayals. She realized she's not weak, she's not stupid, she's not ugly, she's not worthless. She finally knew, I am strong. Thank you. And on that little note, we are going to bring up to the mic once again, Alex.
That's red. So as you guys know, I was in a creative writing class, so we had to journal nightly. I was in 2 at once, 7th and 8th grade class, so I had to journal. I wasn't required to, but I did double every night. And one night, I realized that we had to turn our journals in every Friday. Miss Fox didn't check them over the week. I realized that every week I was journaling on Thursday. Like 8 pages. When I should have been just doing 2 every night. This is what came out. My mind is empty after all this time of jotting words on undotted lines. I've forgotten what the meaning is. The meaning's not a grade, or a project, or a goal. The meaning is release, one I can't find anywhere else. My stomach's queasy, and I'm not really sure what I'm saying, but for Pete's sake, at least I'm saying something. I've been burned and kicked and beaten so many times that these words sometimes just aren't enough to heal me. How can arrangements of 26 different letters change me so much? Because before I read this, I was a different person. And now, things have changed. That was when I started and I have one more. This one is kind of a pessimistic one, heartbreak one, because this talk sometimes gave us topics, and one day it was like this or something, and then one goes a normal route and be like, oh, this hurt me, you know. So this happened. I pricked my finger on the spindle of your fortress heart, descending into a dark, feathery sleep wrapped in the down comforter of your empty promises. I slumber, our happily never after, singeing the insides of my eyelids. My silver armor has long ago melted from your acid tears, and my bones ache. They've become frail and brittle from holding you up. They were busy kissing frogs, and I was busy loving dragons. Then tearing out their fiery tongues to ignite my gasoline heart. I was never meant to be your princess. Darling, I was already your queen.
Excellent.
Baby, alternative Disney.
I love alternative Disney.
This works. Yeah, it does. Let's check my notes real quick here. You just reminded me of something that we used to do every week, especially at the coffee club. Yeah.
I thought about that today.
Huh?
I thought about that today.
Yeah.
But I figured we'll just say it for another night.
Okay.
10-minute pause.
Just to give you a fair warning, we used to do the 10-minute poetry challenge, and we would take, tried that one time, it was like,
Yeah.
We used to do that in class on Friday.
yeah.
It
Call it
worked out
Freeform
so
Friday.
Freeform
It's
Friday.
sometimes
I don't know if we tried it, but 10-minute poetry challenge, we take words from the audience, 4 or 5, and then we come up with a piece.
All the artists in the room.
Yeah.
And everybody is an artist.
Everyone's an artist. But since we're really throwing it out there last minute, we're not going to do it tonight. But fair warning, it's going to be work. It's going to be work.
I'm gonna research for that next week.
All right. Speaking of pen pricks, maybe this is the end result of too much time with pen in hand. Of too many pieces left to overstand. Of too much knowledge to share with my fellow man, because with each word I free myself. I'm redirecting the blinding lights in the mirror in order to better see myself. I'm downloading the latest upgrades to device 1 2.0 in order to better be myself. Because what you see now will soon pass. And just as yesterday was tomorrow to the day after next, this present will soon too become part of the past.
All right.
Oh, because time is just a concept expressed within our minds. And spoken word is just life that's expressed within each piece, each work, and each line. And as every man must answer to his master, I too must answer to mine. So won't you journey with me down this winding rabbit hole and let's just trip off whatever we find. Because there's so much more to share in this esoteric atmosphere of like-minded minds on fire. Till our souls ignite and we light up the night, because these flames can only go higher. And as we each take our turn making these microphones burn, transmitting our hearts down the wire, I ask that each of you poets that may answer to this call should pray that your art will inspire, because we are pinpricks. And our words will be the writing on the caveman's walls. And our pieces will forever echo down digital poetry halls. And our pens will forever flow for all to know this life that we've led, returning power back to the universe through these words that were once trapped within our heads. sometimes I do these little short joints, and then every once in a while, I'm trying to think of what's coming up down the road as we approach the end of this thing. Next week I'll be flying solo. This one's got a little J.O.B. that draws her in every once in a while, so next week will be all on me. And
I'll be keeping in touch, you know, at that time way that I had mentioned on the mic.
We won't touch that. We won't touch that. It will be another open mic event. Invite all your friends, ask whoever you can find to come on down. We don't always have to touch the mic, but it'd be nice if you got a chance to sample what's going on. There's quite a few poets around, and we are all starting to bubble more and more to the surface. And as my good friend Dr. Lynch is pointing out, we are the only ones that broadcast live. No one else does this. No one else does this. So what better place to be than the Wordplay Cafe? What better place to be than Tbones Hot Spot? Best coffee I've come across so far. And that says a lot, my man, because that was the title that I had at Coffee Lot. That stuff was good. But you gotta beat.
You gotta
There's what good, but you gotta beat. You gotta beat. The atmosphere is right, the vibes right, so Tbones Hot Spot is the place. David's reading.
Yes, sir.
Did I hear a little something about the death of spoken word?
You heard about death of spoken word? They say spoken word is a dying art. Her arteries are hardened, congested heart failure, so she no longer make it to the venue. She had COPD and emphysema, so even if she made it here, she couldn't spit. And I heard she just collapsed. Someone was performing CPR, and the crowd was crying, "Please don't let her die. Who will tell our story? You can't let her die. Who will be our voice?" And I'm the paramedic. As I rushed towards spoken word, I grabbed my defibrillator. See, I was told she was unconscious and not breathing, quite dead by all accounts. And my job is to save the living and to bring life back to the dead. But as I knelt by her side, I realized spoken word was not dead. Her heart was an AFib, quivering within her chest, unable to regain her natural rhythm. So I bared her chest, prepared the paddles, and shocked her heart back into rhythm. And a few seconds later, she gasped. So I stepped to the mic, bearing my soul, telling my story, one word at a time. Because spoken word is not dead, as long as I, you, we can rhyme. Thank you. And with that being said, we're kind of, sort of, almost maybe ending just a little early tonight. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching Wordplay Cafe, Tbones Hot Spot. We are here every Tuesday unless something happens.
Every Tuesday we're here.
You
Unless
know.
the building burns we're
not going to even put that out there.
not.
We're going to be here every Tuesday unless something comes up.
There you go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, we'll be here every Tuesday unless something comes up from 8 to 10-ish. Let's see. Anything else you want to say? My wonderful partner in run, Device One.
Just stay in touch with us on Facebook. You know what? I like about it. Wordplay Cafe. We also have a website, wordplaycafe.com/WordPress, something other. I'm going to make that link more available also. Wordplaycafe.wordpress.com.
That's catchy. Wordplay Cafe. I like that.
Thanks. I'll include the link on Facebook, but we'll also create a link for these videos so they can be viewed there as well. I believe in the power of social networking and the internet and the whole 9 yards. I'm not going to say it's a new way because it's not new anymore, but it's definitely a way to get the word out. Okay. Daisy and I are still working on our CD, so keep your eyes, keep your ears posted on that. The Message and the Messenger, Volume 2. Volume 1. I was going to play with that. What? I missed Volume 1?
Yeah, I was waiting.
So that project is still in the works. So just stay in touch, keep posted, and we will keep everyone in the prayers and look for you guys as we move forward. Thanks again for coming out.
Wordplay Cafe, the life that is most expressive.
Word by word. Thanks again, guys.
Thank you.
On its own.
Yes.
Is,